All right, let's move on to letter F. In letter F, we have 5bx cubed minus 5bx squared. I'm going to notice a 5 can be pulled out of everything. Minus 60bx. Can you figure out what can be pulled out of everything without actually doing the factorization like we did in letter B? I see that 5bx can be pulled out of everything. And I'm just going to straight up pull out 5bx. I'm not going to pull out a negative because my first term is already positive. I don't need to make it positive. So it's going to be 5bx times x squared minus x, because if I take 5bx out of this, it's just x. Notice the minus sign. I'm pulling down the minus sign. Minus, and then let's see, this is going to be 12. I pull out 5bx out of last term, it just turns into 12. Make this a squared, and then we're on to figuring out what the factorization is. Can you think of factors of 12? So this is going to be, again, one where we do 5bx comes along for the ride. It has to be an x plus and an x minus to make a negative third term. Okay? And can you think of factors of 12 where you add 1 and subtract the other? You get negative 1. This is an easy one. X plus 3, x minus 4 is going to give me negative 1 for my middle term. All right, that should be letter F. Let's see if we got it. There it is. And then letter G. Now, this one has some big numbers going on, so I'm going to anticipate this one might be a little harder. Let's see. What factors do 6, 18, and 240 have in common? I'm just going to note that 6 is the smallest of those three numbers. 6 is going to go into 18, and 6 is going to go into 240. So that means I'm going to pull a 6 out front. What about variable-wise? I see I have an F in this term and this term, but not in the middle term. So I can't pull out any F's because it's not in all three terms. But I have an H in all three terms, so I can pull an H out, and that's going to give me, all right, let's look at this. 6H times 18F minus, let's see. Oh, hold on. I need to pull out a 6 out of it, so it's 3F minus, let's see. To get 6 to turn into 240, it's 40. So it's going to be minus 40 plus, and let's see, I pulled a 6H out of this, so I just have F squared. Okay, there was no F in the middle term, but I pulled an H out of that term. And now I noticed this is not in standard form. My trinomial here that's in parentheses is not in standard form. So I'm going to rearrange a little bit. I'm going to take the F squared and move it up front. It's going to be F squared plus 3F, because the 3F was always a positive, minus 40. Let me just make sure. This is positive term with the F squared, positive term with the F, and then a negative term with the H that's going to be factored out. So there we go. That's what it's going to look like. Okay, so what I need to do here, 6H comes along for the ride. It's going to be F plus something, F minus something. What are the factors of 40 that equal 3? 8 times 5 is 40, and 8 and 5 are 3 apart, so that's probably going to be it. This would be F plus 8, F minus 5. That's going to, when I multiply that back together, it'll be F squared plus 3F minus 40. We got it. All right, take a look at letter H. Letter H is our word problem. Let's see. A box is to be built in the shape of a rectangular prism. The volume is represented by the expression 90x cubed plus 450x squared plus 540x. Factor the expression completely. Well, first of all, are there any variables that can be taken out of all three of those terms? I see that x obviously comes out of all three of those. And then, do any of those coefficients just go into all of those terms? Well, I see they're all divisible by 9, but I also notice they all have a 0 on the end. If all three terms end in 0, they're also divisible by 10. All three of these are actually going to be divisible by 90. So if I did the prime factorization for these, I could figure that out if that was hard to figure out otherwise. But you probably noticed that all three of these can be divided by 90. So this would be 90x times x squared Okay, that's already looking good. Our squared term doesn't have a coefficient. And then let's see, 90x times what is 450x squared? That's 5x. Okay. And then I pull a 90x out of our last term, and I get 6 plus 6. So this is going to be, again, 90x comes along for the ride. X plus, let's see, something, and x plus something again. That's going to be easy. What are the factors of 6 that add up to 5? It's going to be 1 and 6 or 2 and 3. 2 and 3 add up to 5. That's the factored final expression. Hey, I forgot to reveal this one, and let's reveal the last one. There we go. All right, that's how you do these problems where you have to factor first and then solve. You should be able to do numbers 1 through 30 for next time.